Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching this video. Today we're taking a look at a Beetle, old Volkswagen Beetle. It was my first car I ever painted, and we're gonna take a look at the paint and how it held up. It's basically a base coat, clear coat, and I believe the color was like Calypso green or something like that from a Ford Probe. But I'm gonna try to buff out a spot and see if I can get it to come back, just for the heck of it. Before we get to buffing or polishing that one spot on the front, let's take a look at the rear fender. Now, the front fender doesn't have that problem with the rust and the paint, you know, chipping away. And that'll happen, and I'm gonna tell you why. The reason is you have to take the panels apart, you know, or else you're gonna run into a problem in the future. What happens is they begin to rust between the two panels, or you know, it's not enough material in there and they just go to bare metal at some point, and so dirt collects and it'll begin to rust. What that rust does, it creeps back out. It'll just start to creep. It'll creep, and you know, and eventually this whole panel will be just a big rust spot. Now you can see the little bubbles right here, where eventually it's just gonna start popping and chipping and flaking all off, just like that is. So whenever you're painting, I'm just trying to encourage people to take the panels apart. Separate all your panels as much as you can, even if it's, you know, just I don't know, like a quarter panel or something like this. Go ahead and take that tail light out, and you're gonna save yourself some time in the future by, you know, especially if it's a car that you're gonna keep or a car that someone else is gonna keep for a while. And to me, it doesn't matter how long you're gonna keep it. I just like to go ahead and separate my panels, you know, so I don't run into this problem, you know, in the future or down the road, you know, because I've learned from it. This is the first car that I ever painted, and I learned a lot from it. Polishes that I'm gonna use, I'm gonna start out with the Cut Max, you know, cutting compound, and then I may finish up with the profile, but we'll see when we get there. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work in this area right here. I'm going to start out with this old dirty pad here. Just going to, you know, kind of cut the contaminants and the sap and the whatever's on there, you know, 30 years worth of stuff that's on there. And this is a black pad. You know, you can see that it's you know, I keep it once I clean it and condition it and dry it, I put it back in there in my little sandwich bag. But either way, this is the pad, you know, that I really don't care about, so that's the one I'm going to use with this. And this pad here, if we get to that part, if I don't mess it up and burn all the clear off of it, what's left, I'm going to polish it with this. All right, just clean the area a little bit. Just get the dirt from around the area and off of the paint. You don't want any kind of debris to get in your pad. It'll contaminate your pad, and you end up with pigtails, little swirl marks or whatever. Apply a little compound onto the pad, rub it in, and I turn mine on high speed. I run it all the way, you know, on the maximum speed, turn it on, using firm pressure. Use some good firm pressure, and it'll go ahead and it'll cut off the contaminants or whatever's on top of the paint. But keep in mind, whatever's on top of the paint is gonna go into the pad. And this is how I've done it, you know, a lot. You can't wash the car or whatever before you do it, but you know, a lot of people go through trouble of you know, using clay bar, stuff like that. I don't. I'm not knocking it. I just use a good cutting pad, as long as you have enough clear coat to polish out, you know, to finish up with your fine compound. So that went well. I didn't cut any much clear off. I didn't cut through to the base. So I'm switching to my polishing pad. So again, shake up the compound, apply a little compound to the buffing pad, and we'll get going. But like I said, you don't have to use all the steps like clay bar and this and that and whatever else. And like I say, that's fine if you do, but it's just extra stuff you have to purchase. This is just the old car that I'm trying to, experiment on, and so just, kind of show some people how you can bring back paint that's been on a vehicle for, 25 plus years, and it all boils down to the quality of the paint that you use, the quality of material. If you use a high quality material, you're going to end up with a high quality job if you put in the work like you should, and it'll last. I want you to know this is not a trick. It's not camera magic. It's not any of that. I'm telling you, this car has been sitting for at least 27 years, if not 28, because as soon as I painted it, I got another car, and so I just parked this one, and it sat for a long time, and you can tell it's been sitting. But that's the difference between a good quality paint versus an inferior quality paint. And if you're doing this for a living, you can show your customer this video. I mean, this is a base coat, clear coat. It wasn't the most expensive paint back when I bought it, but it wasn't the most inferior. I mean, it wasn't the cheapest paint. So it was kind of middle of the road paint, base coat, clear coat. So, you can cut yourself out a lot of headache and time and redoing work or whatever, and the longevity of your paint work will be better. It lasts longer. And again, on the rear fender, I didn't take it off. I'm almost sure I didn't take it off when I painted the car, because the orange paint is showing from behind it, and everything shrinks over a period of time. So the gasket between the fender and the body, it shrank. I'm sure the paint shrank, and the rust starts to pop back through. It'll creep. I call it, it'll creep. It'll start on the inside, right? Because you didn't take the panel off. So you didn't take the panel off, so you have dirt, debris, or whatever that's going to eventually start to rust the inside of the panel, and it'll just creep all the way back, creep until it has rusted your whole panel out. So whenever you're painting, you would want to take the panel apart, separate your part, like explode everything, take the tail lights out, headlights out, anything where there's a little bit of dirt behind, plus that keeps trash out of your paint work. So for anybody that's doing this type of work, this is just a tip, that I'm sharing and showing you that this is the car that I painted. This is the first car that I ever painted, and of course a friend helped me paint it. But I mean, I did the paint work, I did the body work, I did all that. I used his garage to paint it, and it was actually on the garage with the dirt floor. And I'm telling you, dirt floor, it looked like that. That's what we painted on. So that's all we had, so that's how we did it then. So either way, share this video with any other young person or anybody that you know of that's coming up, that's beginning to do auto body work, and maybe they can learn from it. And like I said again, use better material for a better result. Do a little bit more work, take the panels off, separate them for a better result. And share it, like I said, and give it a thumbs up if you like it. And thanks for watching.